Welcome to another RES Wave XLM price action update. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk about what I think is going on with this reversal and why it's looking the way it is. A word of warning though, these are small time frame um, moves. So giving you this info right now will require you to just bear that in mind. So as I mentioned, sorry, let me get rid of these. As I mentioned in the previous video, we have broken, uh, this declining trend line, and in my opinion, we've just come back to test it. Okay, so at the lows, I've marked the end of wave A. Okay, a zigzag down. It could be a wave one down. That would be sort of in line with what's happening with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So just for the sake of that, let's just say it's either a wave one or an A. Okay, it could be either or. Now the thing is, for us to expect a move up from here, we need to understand this pattern that's come back and broken the previous pivot high. So I'm going to zoom down and I'm going to do my best to explain to you what I think is going on within this pattern. Okay. Now, typically, when you get a breakout like this, you're going to get a retracement back to retest, the trend line that was broken. And, that's all easy to say in terms of just price action observation, right? But what I think is happening here is, for starters, we have a wave one, okay, or it could be sorry, I. And then straight after that, we have a mini wave A. Okay, mini wave A, and then followed by a B. Okay, and then what comes after a B? Well, it's a C. So this particular C, I believe it's a weak type 1 weak 5 wave move. So it basically falls. Each motive wave is a 3 wave move. Okay, so that's why it looks a bit choppy. And then you had your D wave. D wave being a breakout wave, it doesn't surprise me that it's the wave that broke out. But then you had a big pullback back to the downside. Right now, if I didn't know any better, I would say that 5 wave move is complete, because I can see a 1, a 2, a complete 3, and then a 4 and a 5. Also, we have it touching the trend line, and if you go to, I think it's a 4 hour, or I think it's the 1 hour. On the 1 hour chart, you can see that it's sort of got the moving average there, the 500 period moving average, as a bit of a support as well. So you've got the waves, the break of the trend line retest, the 500 period moving average, and potentially that's the end of wave two. Okay, so that's what I would call, an expanded type 2 correction, but not terribly expanded, due to price action coming back down pretty close to the end of wave one. Still, it is above, so it must be considered a type 2 expanded correction. Okay, so from here, I expect a bounce. Right, now for safety, right, if you want to be playing this completely safe, you'd want to wait for a break of the start of wave E, right, in order to execute your trade, or you could just basically put your stop at the lows. That's kind of like picking a bottom, but you know, it's up to you how you trade. To me, I discussed the waves. Your entry points should be, you know, executed in your own way. This is not financial advice, but just to say it, because why not? To my members, I always recommend a break of the start of wave E to trip you into the trade, and then that's your stop level. And then, you know, obviously there's more waves to come if this is a bottom for XLM. Now, the interesting thing that I notice is that you've got cryptos going up, you've got cryptos going down. All right, you've got cryptos that have gone down for a while and haven't bounced, like this crypto. And then you've got cryptos like Ethereum, which only started going down at the end of last year, and they've already had a bit of a bounce, right? So these types of things, you know, interesting because there's always um, different moves going on in the markets. That's why the waves is the best way to judge what's going on with these moves rather than basically just guessing, right? So that's my interpretation of what's happening now. Obviously, we still have a bit to go if we are to expect some follow through here, but higher lows, higher highs should be something you consider. Okay, so there's a few things going on there, a few things to consider. So yeah, it does suck that obviously you have to wait longer for an entry point because wave E is longer compared to like wave C, which is a bit shorter, etc. But just using, the higher lows uh, perspective could also help you if you're that way inclined. Um, if you want to go long now, otherwise, obviously, if you have a longer stop, it's better. But at the same time, is it better really? It depends how you trade, right? So at this point, um, what do I think this will do? Well, at the very minimum, I would say this is going to turn into a five wave move. And the reason I think that is because wave one is very small, right? And typically, if it was going to be a zigzag, you'd have to get something similar in length. And as you can see, that's really probably not going to happen, right? So for me, that's a clue that it's a 1-2 pattern, right? And we're probably going to see a wave three to the upside. Okay, so I suppose in judging the wave E, it's always important to sort of understand whether or not the correction has completed or the five wave move is complete. So you got a five wave move. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you got another five wave move. So that looks like five wave moves, like a five wave move, right? For wave E. So it's things like that that I look for, and I've just given you a whole bunch of ways you can enter this. So completely up to you how you do it. Thought I'd bring you this update. Hopefully you found this video interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.